Everyone knows the tale of the wonderful, amazing Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility and all that. A man that never folds, never gives up hope, and will always fight till his last breath. But what would happen if that same man were to read a page of the Darkhold? A book made from the flesh of an elder god, containing dark magic spells transcribed in ancient engravings carved by an evil god named Theon. Well, the pages of that book happen to show him a more, let's say, twisted path. We're shown an image of New York we've never seen before, with what seems to be like webs covering every single building in sight. And Peter is currently on the phone to Gwen Stacy, his girlfriend. He's really busy right now, but all she wants him to do is remember to bring home some apple cider vinegar. And he better be home at 7:30 sharp, or else. And she reminds him that this is New York. Something is always falling apart. And then tells him to say it. Say what, he says. You know. Happy anniversary, Gwen. Manhattan used to sound like the world tuning up. A blur of car horns, coursing, and construction everywhere. Now all he hears is the wind and his own breath. What's happening is something called the unraveling. He doesn't know how or why the unraveling happened. No one does. Reed says it has something to do with Molecule Man, but he thinks he's reaching. All they know is one day everything began falling apart. Bridges, buildings, even people. And that's when he stepped in, webbing up the whole city to keep it from falling apart. Only trouble is, it doesn't last. Peter lands and finds a man in need. He's lost his lower jaw and is missing an arm too. It was Otto's doing. But no problem, he can fix it. He finds his jaw and heads off to go retrieve his arm. As if the world falling apart wasn't bad enough, Doc Ock is still being a psychomaniac. But Peter doesn't have the time for this. He has a city to save. He tells him to calm down or he'll just... Otto begs Peter not to laugh, and he promises he won't. This Pete has nothing to smile about. In the distance, a flare goes off. It's Reed. He needs a hand. Peter swings away, leaving Doc in the saddest state he's ever been in. At the Baxter building, Spidey tells Reed he does have a phone, you know. But Reed's not exactly in the best shape to use one. He's discovered if he abandons his human form, it leaves room for an increased cognitive capacity. He begins to ramble on about science nonsense, but Pete doesn't have the time. The city is falling apart and he needs to get back to Gwen. Reed asks him why he bothers with such trivial things as an anniversary meal with Gwen, when he has a responsibility to this city. And Pete just snaps. He only gets 3 hours of sleep if he's lucky. He only weighs 127 pounds, and every single day, without fail, he has to put this city back together by himself. And when the webbing dissolves, he does it all again. Meanwhile, Reed is sitting in his basement, just being a pool of glop. But Reed snaps him out of it, saying he needs to show him something. He shows him the sonic gun he made. He also may have a solution for the web dissolving problem. Self-healing organic polymer that can theoretically replace his web fluid, aka Reed's finger. Yuck! Pete gets freaked out and tells him he has to go. And Reed tells him he's not delusional. Spidey's accelerated healing stopped him from unraveling, and Reed's elasticity saved him. But there are others out there. Find them, Reed says, and you'll be able to rest. And now he knows why the gun is here. He's in New York, isn't he? Venom is here. Later, in the sewers, he spots him. But before he can react, Venom slices at him. His spider sense never did work on Venom. But the hit wasn't that hard. He's weak. Venom breaks the sonic gun and is about to devour Spider-Man. But Peter makes the roof collapse in on them, stopping the attack. And that's when Venom begs for mercy. Peter, please. Eddie's gone, it says, as it reveals Eddie's long dead rotting corpse inside of it. Peter asks why he didn't just leave. But Venom explains he couldn't. Eddie wasn't just his host. He was his home. Peter gives in and tells him he's ready to take him back. But Venom decides against it and dies alongside his best friend. Peter looks at the time. It's 7:46. Gwen! He swings to the city as fast as he can, and Gwen's not answering her phone. He scrambles through his window, smashing his phone in the process. But he's too late. And he forgot the apple cider vinegar. Only one thing left to do. While Reed is working away in his lab, Peter pays him another visit. Reed apologizes for speaking about Gwen earlier, but Pete seems distracted and tells him that he would have done anything to keep his family alive. Peter? Reed was right. That new webbing hasn't fixed the city. It was never going to, but it's definitely better than before. He finally has time to himself, to finally mourn his family. The world isn't back to normal, but this new blue substance seems to be working much better than his webbing. Peter. Peter, please. It hurts. I know, Reed. But you have a responsibility to this city, remember? And so ends the tale of a really dark version of Spider-Man. I'm glad our Spider-Man doesn't end up that way. Or hopefully won't. This is the Darkhold Universe of Spider-Man. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's short, but let me know what you thought. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. Peace.